Hello everyone, and welcome to the Canadian Introvert vlog number 1. My name is Chad. As some of you may have known that follow me on Twitter, that I've decided just to do this to kill some time, during this tough time with coronavirus. And I know a lot of people have some extra time on their hands and extra stress and all that. And so I did a little test video yesterday and had it up on Twitter, and you can see it here on my channel as well. And I had a great response. As I've said before in my other videos, that I am a major introvert. Not too many friends. One good friend for sure, and other acquaintances, I guess I would more consider them. People that do follow me on Twitter will know this place. This is where I come to feed Flash, a squirrel that I've been feeding for a couple months. She's down there somewhere. Don't know if you can see her, but she comes and eats some donuts and parts of donuts, so she'll probably be a regular guest on my show, I guess you can say. What I want to do on vlog number 1 is kind of give you more of a rundown of my life, where I'm at now, what my life has, what experience I had briefly to get to this point. I talked to one of my brothers. I'm the oldest of 4, and I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and the oldest of my youngest brother called me yesterday, and I was telling him before I made a video that I was going to do this, and he's knowing what I've been going through and totally supported it. And one of the reasons why, when he asked me why I was doing it, I told him that I had quite a few supporters now on Twitter, and as well as some people that I consider some friends, and I'm always a person that likes to be straightforward and honest, and I've always shied away from personal questions and not lying but hiding the truth. But now with this coronavirus and self-isolating, I told them that I feel like I've been lying to people now, because honestly I'm not working. I haven't been working for coming up onto 2 years here. I was laid off in April of 2018. I might get into that in a later vlog, but I got a nice buyout. They paid for 10 weeks of whatever it's called. And so I thought I would take 4 or 5 weeks off. And within that time, I re-injured my back, and I've had a bulge disc in my back for 18 years, and I hurt it quite bad. Even though we do have a great free medical here in Canada, it does take a little bit longer to get MRIs and all the tests and get in to see specialists. So up to about 8 months ago, I was actually walking around with a cane, an extreme pain. That's where depression really sunk in. I'll get into more of my feelings on depression. I used to never believe in depression. It was more of an upbringing that I was brought into. So I felt like I was been lying to some of my friends, and I don't like to do that. I wanted to let them know what was going on. Here's Flash. She ate all her donuts already, so she's coming to check out. So yeah, it's been hard. I did have some life savings, and I did have some, my own place. I've since then, in the last 8 months, I'm on social services right now. I've had to give up my place, break my lease in my place, and I'm living in a room of a good friend, which I consider a family, almost more of a family than my brothers and sisters. As I talk to her, she's a great friend, and her boyfriend, husband is a great guy, and I couldn't imagine without them. I would be on the streets. I don't know if I would be here. So, they're great people. Thank you. So it's been a while healing. I've been, when you're out of work and you hurt yourself, you don't get any kind of coverage. You have 3 visits to a physio. You have a couple visits to see a therapist. Sorry, Flash is running around. I don't want to step on here. So it's taken a while to recover. And now that I'm at the point, I've just been cleared from my doctors to be able to start looking for a part-time job. And now the coronavirus. And usually I do have a laptop, so I can look online, but I like to get out of the house, so I'd go to social services or the unemployment office to use their computers, the library. Everything is closed now. So now I feel like I'm stuck at home. This is a way for me to still get out, still express, keeps my mind busy and off the pressures and the extra stress that, this is all causing me. I'm in an incredible amount of debt. Before I hurt myself, the only debt I had was a car payments that I was making, and that was it. Now my credit card is maxed. I only owe a couple under $2,000 left on my car. And, I've been trying to keep it. It's my backup if I got to sell it, just to, if I have to claim bankruptcy, a person needs $500 to do that. So that's kind of my backup. I don't really hoping I'm not having to get there. If I could have got work here, maybe I wouldn't had to, but with this virus, I don't know where. I'm just trying to keep my mind off of it, and I'm usually a person that doesn't stress out about things too much. In my depression, it was hard. Always constantly in my head thinking, everyone that looked at me was thinking that I'm just useless, and they knew that I was unemployed and that I was just worthless to society. These went and got some medication and some pills, and they helped clear my mind, and I can focus on one. She's coming. She wants to come up and see me. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Well, one of these days, you guys might be with me the day that she climbs on me. So anyways, like I said, I am 45 and 15/16. My birthday's in three weeks on April 8th. So I was born, in a small town, Turner Valley, Alberta, which is just south of Calgary, on April 8th, 1974. Just my mom. I don't ever know who my real father was or anything like that. Just trying to get that out of the sun here. But as far as I've ever known since I've been 4, my mom met a man, and they got married when I was 4 years old. My brother was a few months old, 6 months old, I believe it was. Pretty much he's been my dad, and I shouldn't say pretty much. I've always considered him my dad. I actually never really found out that he wasn't my true father until I was like a teenager. He totally adopted me, and I just happened to come across like the adoption papers one time, and I was like, what the heck is this? My mom was my best friend, and a great woman, who unfortunately passed away in 93 of breast cancer. And then a year and a half later, my dad passed away of a cocaine overdose. And I'll probably get more into that. My dad was a a real man's man, and men don't cry, men don't show emotions. He'd be the one that would say, oh, there's no such thing as depression, or when I remember when ADHD or whatever, attention disorder, was being talked about on like Oprah or whatever, I'd be like, that's me. Like when I write anything in English, like I don't understand. So, but my dad just would say, I'm stupid because there's no such thing as any kind of disorder or like I said, being depressed or, so for years that sunk in. One of the biggest things that stuck in my head was when we all moved to Spain, and we were saying goodbye to cousins and family, and I started crying, and my dad gave me that normal do you want me to give you something to cry about, which is always something that is stuck into my head. And so it's been rough. Many of my friends haven't seen me cry or show any kind of emotion because of that. Little lady I'm staying with, my great friend, my sister, she has seen me cry more in 2018 than ever. And I would say in 2018 I cried more than I did in my whole life added together. So it was a pretty hard time for me, feeling that, a man is supposed to work, a man is supposed to support, a man is always supposed to do what a man can do. So that's where the depression came from, because I just felt like I wasn't a man, I wasn't, useful in society. I would wake up every day crying that I woke up. I would hear stories of how like a mother or a father died and leaving a couple kids behind, and I'd be like, even though I don't believe in God, I'd be like, don't you take me? Like, I want to go. I have no one. I have no kids. I have no parents. I have my 2 brothers, my 1 sister, and their kids. But being an introvert, you're not close to them, so in a way, it wouldn't matter. So it took a while to get over that. The pills helped. My friend helped quite a bit, her and her boyfriend. So that was been up to, school. My mom was like 6 months before I graduated when she passed away, and my dad was a year after I graduated. My dad was abusive. And so pretty much once my mom died and I graduated, I was kicked out of the house and out on my own. Always had to support myself since I was 19 years old and never had a problem. I believe I said in my other videos that I used to drink like a mofo all the time. Not so much now, but I just did whatever I had to do. I worked. Most of my experiences in construction. I made some good money. I was lucky to get into framing, building houses way back in 96. And I made great money, but also, I guess, how it's been explained to me, I see a behavioral science lady or whatever. I don't know what her title is, but she helps me out a lot and makes me understand why I got these feelings. And she says, a lot of my feelings are from how my dad raised me and the early deaths in my family and being by myself. And she says, my brother, the oldest of my youngest, he is totally opposite. He is responsible and saves money, where I was irresponsible and I just spent my money. I was just in the thought where I might die tomorrow. I don't want to be left with all this money. I just want to have fun, have a great time, and I did. And so didn't have a lot of savings, but I did have some savings, and like I said, that not anymore. It's kind of all gone now. So yeah, I skipped ahead a little bit there, but I moved to Spain in 84, 83, and we moved back in 87. It was such a great experience, great culture, fantastic country. Got to travel all around Europe at a nice time where, people were calm and politics wasn't dividing people. So yeah, I my 20s, all I did was work and drink. That's pretty much everything I did. In my 30s, I still worked, but I wouldn't party as much. Still on the weekends, if I was going to drink, I was going to get drunk. And yeah, so I've always just worked, and like I said, since I've been 30, more have shied away into this introvert and pushed friends away. And like I said, I consider myself an asshole, but it's mainly because I'm blunt, I'm straightforward. I don't have that voice in my head that says, hey, maybe you shouldn't say that. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at now. A little bit of a brief history of what my life has been up to now. I do look forward to telling you some stories in between there, and like I said, I have some that I think is amazing. Maybe you guys won't think they're so amazing, but I do have, in growing up and telling some of these stories to friends, that they didn't really believe me, because they're just, one is that I knew one of the somehow royalty to Morocco. Her parents were the prince and princess of Morocco, or like, I don't know, actual princess, but within the royal family of it. And living in Spain was, everybody I knew there was completely loaded. Our family life, up to Spain, after we came back from Spain, we were pretty well off. My dad was more like me, didn't save money, but we always went on trips. Like, I've been to Disneyland 7-8 times. I've been to Disney World once. We've traveled around all over the place. So he was always spending his money, but taking us out on adventures. Yeah. So I'm not too sure where to go from here right now. I'm gonna end it here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. Remember to stay strong. We need to band together now. Don't hoard shop. And if we all work together, we'll make it through this. There's going to be some tough times ahead, and unfortunately, there's going to be some deaths ahead, and some illnesses, and some fighting, but we just have to come together and try to keep positive, and we'll make it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I'll have something else to say, maybe later today or tomorrow. Like I said, this is just my first time. Leave me a comment. You can follow me on Twitter right now. I do it on my regular account, but I might make a separate account. Right now it's Canadian the Chad is where you can find me on Twitter. If I do make another account, it would be the Canadian Introvert. Seems to be an open name. As well, I'll be looking into maybe setting up like a PayPal for people that maybe want to support the account to help support me, and so I can continue to do these vlogs. By no means am I asking for any money, because I would rather you go buy food at the food bank for the food bank. But hey, everyone might have some extra money, but we'll see. I'm just going to set something up. Maybe that'll make me be able to expand my YouTube channel and travel a little further outside of Edmonton. Today I'm still at one park. Tomorrow I might go to a different park and go around there and see what's around. Take care, stay strong, stay healthy. I'll talk to you later.